What happens when the icons in the industry leave the sport? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. If you're new, my name is Steve Chapman. What happens when the icons in the industry leave the sport? Either they retire or they go out on top. First and foremost, they should be celebrated and acknowledged for what they've done. Becoming a professional angler is not easy. I think there's this stigma that people think that they could all do it. Really, there's not a lot of us that can do it. We can do it, but we're not going to be successful. That is something that is just pure facts. KVD, Skeet Reese, Rick Clunn have all retired or left the sport over the last couple of years. And why they leave can be several reasons. I know most people are going to say it's because of technology. And I think you're right in most cases. There are a lot of people that leave the sport because they're just sick and tired of all the drama that goes on with forward-facing sonar. But as a fan, change is not accepted very well. Bass fans are extremely loyal to the people that they love, the anglers that they love. And when your favorite angler leaves or retires, fans aren't quickly moving to another angler because they stay loyal. And as a fan, we don't jump from one angler to another. Most fans are loyal to the bone. But are anglers leaving the sport and retiring because either in incessive drama, or is the technology part of the issue, or do they want to leave on the top of their game? And what do we as fans do? Do we find a new person to follow? In most cases we do, but we're still keying on or making sure we realize what that other angler is doing in their future. Now, there's going to be a slew of people that say technology is the reason why a lot of anglers leave. And I respect that. And quite honestly, I think there are anglers that do leave because they're just sick and tired of technology. And as you get older, it's hard to change and learn something that you're not used to. These young anglers are so good at technology that their learning curve is drastically faster than the traditional angler. We have patterned fish and tried to learn what's going on right then, make the right cast, the right lure, so forth. Where new anglers who are being introduced into the outdoors and fishing are looking down at a screen and quickly realizing how a fish reacts to a certain bait or a certain speed of the lure that they're using. And as we get older, I'm talking about me myself, I know that there are times when I look at my phone and realize I don't know what the hell is going on. And as fishermen and anglers, we're not really good with change. But there are also a lot of other reasons why an angler hangs it up. It could be that they might not think they'll qualify for the tournament series the next year. It could be family obligations. We don't have a clue on how much a tournament angler misses his family because he's out there for so long. It might not seem like a lot of days, but it really is. And getting that family obligation and realizing that you're putting, unfortunately, yourself before your family is hard for a lot of anglers. I know several anglers that their family comes first, but they're trying to support their family by going out there and fishing. And when you decide to hang it up and retire, one of the things that all anglers say is, now I'm going to be able to spend more time with my family. And as someone who really believes family is the most important thing in life, I understand this more than anything. And an angler might leave because they have new opportunities. More social media, TV shows, all sorts of things that come into play when they're looking over what they're doing. Not to mention, you need to run it as a business. You need to at some point go, all this money I'm spending, is it coming back? Is my return on investment really that good? There's some anglers that will say it isn't. There's other anglers that will hide it and not tell you what's going on. because it is private. And social media and podcasts and YouTube all come into play with some of these anglers. And they realize, I might be able to make a better living doing this social media stuff than going out and spending money, competing at the highest level, and really racking my brain and my body and being away from my family and making not as much money. And to be brutally honest, YouTube doesn't pay shit. But where do fans go after their favorite angler leaves or retires? I would suggest you continue to support and watch everything that they do. And don't get upset and mad because they have decided to make a drastic change. They're doing what is best for themselves, and that's crucial. And they're doing what's best for their family. And don't forget about them. Continue to look in on them, support them, click on their channels, do all of it. Show them the love that they deserve. Because I think there's too many anglers that get out of the sport that don't get recognized for what they've brought to the sport. Because there's a lot of anglers that have introduced a lot of our youth to fishing. And while the youth is learning at a different rate than we have ever learned, we need to embrace them and not knock them down. And that's really tough to do right now because there's such a divide between people who like the technology and don't like the technology. And if we're going to be real, I just don't think the technology will ever go away. It'll get better, it'll get less expensive, and it's a tool for the angler to use or not to use. And if you don't like one organization over the other because of their stance on forward-facing sonar or technology, then don't support those organizations. But make sure we continue to support those anglers that are retiring and leaving on good terms and leaving on top of the game. But I'm not sure when some of these icons leave the industry, if it's good for us, because this is a really crazy time in the industry right now. I mean, it's almost ridiculous, to be honest. But all we can do is continue to grow, support those icons that are leaving, and support those new icons that are up and coming, and continue to go out and go fishing. You want to know what the best thing you can do? Go out and go fishing yourself. In all honesty, that's it. If you want to love this hobby and sport, do some fishing on your own. I would love to know what you think. Where do we go when our icons leave? Where do the fans go when the icons leave? Comment below and tell me what you think. Thanks to all the new subscribers and members and everyone who's interactive on the channel. There's a lot of things going on in my life that I wish I could share. It's been really a weird time, but this channel continues to push me. It continues to motivate me and be better and try to do everything I can to give back to the sport and the hobby and to try to do what I think is right. And I hope you enjoy the channel. I really do. So I really appreciate all of you guys because it's unbelievable the amount of support. And I'm so proud and humbled and impressed by everyone who's a channel member. So thank you. But if you're not a subscriber or a member, click that button. Become part of the team and family. And thank you. Remember, take your kid fishing, tight lines, cheers, and get your fish on.